This episode is brought to you by Peacock. The new Peacock original documentary, Matthew Perry, A Hollywood Tragedy, dives deep into the beloved actor's rise to fame and his tragic death. 5 people, including Perry's personal assistant, 2 medical doctors, and an alleged Hollywood drug dealer known as the Ketamine Queen, were charged with conspiracy to illegally provide Perry with the ketamine. Explore the details of the case in this heartbreaking special, streaming now only on Peacock.
You've maxed out your 401k, you're contributing to an IRA, and making some other investments. You're ahead of the game and doing well. But where do you go from here? The same old story can only get you so far. If you want a new take from a new type of financial professional, we invite you to get a fresh perspective beside an agent with the backing of New York Life. Insurance, investments, retirement, and more. Visit NYL.com to learn more. Investments are offered through registered representatives of NyLife Securities, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC, a New York Life company.
At T-Mobile, our critical mission is providing unparalleled 5G coverage for when connectivity is mission critical. Introducing T-Priority, America's best 5G network experience for first responders, even in times of congestion. More capacity, faster speeds, better coverage. T-Priority from T-Mobile, built for tomorrow's emergencies, ready today. Discover more at t-priority.com.
For qualifying organizations on eligible rate plans, coverage not available in some areas and may be impacted by emergencies.
But do turn off them phones, bestie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
This damn video funny as hell.
Oh, good. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, Pandora, then you already know that it is the Couch Chronicles, where it ain't no fucking limits. If you would like to see a visual, then go to the YouTube, which is THA, real JANELL. Shout out to everybody that's already tuned in. I see y'all.
Couch potatoes.
Yeah, my couch potatoes. Without further ado, let's get it poppin'. It's time
for the Couch Chronicles. Ain't no fucking limits.
Every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 8 Central Time. You don't never want to miss a couch. And now we live every Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. So that's the couch every day of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, tune in. You don't want to miss this shit. It's the Couch Chronicles, where they know what?
fucking limits. Period. Y'all know it's prison, jail, Felon Talk. We're gonna play one song and we're gonna jump right into Holly. I mean, we ain't gonna jump into Holly. Damn, Holly, is we gonna jump into you?
Open up, baby.
Right.
Right. TLC doctors, amen.
Big time, I did big time, giving up the mids. They took me straight off the front line, I'm not lying. Then watching my mama cry up in that courtroom. Then the judge just dismissed me like I was dumb too. Then the bailiff looked at me like, what you gon' do? My mind is fucked up, so all I'm thinking is I'm gon' shoot. Then reality set in like it was supposed to. Cat calls down the halls, that's what them folks do. Brown bag, bologna sandwich in them jumpsuits. My cellmate just did 100 years on some dumb shit. Damn, end of the days, cause living in this hell is just like being in the grave. If ain't no money on your books, then you ain't eating shit. You better pray that you get mail a penitentiary gift. And for them lonely days, a visitation list from your family and your friends, that's a major lift. And your spirit, all the drama on the yard, you wanna forget it. Yeah. Behind these walls is different, and you wouldn't understand if you didn't live it. Ay, big time, I did big time. Ay, and they took me out the front line. I'm still scarred from doing my time. And everybody said I should let go. I'm trying, but it did something to my mental. In or out the pen, you know I stand 10 toes. You know. Now you know, I hold my own, that ain't wrong. And I know I gotta think different, cause if I don't, then I guess I'll be the same nigga. Wait, I'm tryna let it go. I'm tryna be a better person so I don't have to get physical. I gotta get my mind right for the limelight. I don't care who judging if they don't know doing timeline. Tryna be an example to my fans and all my peoples and my nieces and my nephew. big slime, I did big time. Sitting in that cold cell in the daytime. Your time be fine, but it's not like the world, no. Big slime, I did big time. Giving up them years, they took me straight off the front line, I'm not lying. Been watching my mama cry up in that courtroom. Then the judges dismissed me like I was dumb too. And the bailiff looked at me like, what you gon' do? My mind is fucked up, so all I'm thinking is I'm gon' shoot. Damn, it's just the end of the days. Cause living in the cell is just like being in the grave.
Have you ever heard this song? That's your first time hearing it?
But I lived that song.
Yeah. I made that for
For
all of us.
9 years, I lived that song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy good.
Yeah. I made that song for us because, like yourself, I did 9 years. And I didn't, when I went in, I didn't go asking people. So tonight I'm going to get a chance to get to know, you know, your story.
Yeah.
You know, why you went to the penitentiary. So for those that's watching, can you tell everybody who you are and where you're from?
I'm Holly. I'm kind of from everywhere. Born in Australia, come stateside when I was a couple years old. Back and forth until I got married when I was 16 because I thought that was a good idea, you know. I live in Yukon, which is a really nice town right now. I live with some really nice people. They are really fantastic, just good-hearted people. To take somebody in not knowing their story and to just give me a chance.
So, wow. Okay, first of all, Australia.
Yeah.
Down under.
Yeah, way down under.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are you able to talk Australian? Did I do that right or wrong?
Well,
okay,
I mean, it depends if you're mad at the north. I mean, if you're mad at the north, you gotta stop.
Okay, okay, so now let's get into the fact that, one, you came from Australia, you've been in America, you know, you're living with people that, how long have you known them?
I met them the day I got out. They literally, like, Candy and Philip came and met me at a bus station in Oklahoma City knowing that, like, I'd been in for 9 years. I'd lost most of my family. My dad passed away a little over a year ago, and I didn't have anybody. And they were like, you're not going to a sober living. You need people that care about you. And they just took me in.
How did that make you feel?
I have never felt so loved in my life. I feel important. And, like, I'm still valuable, even though prison happened to me, even though life happened to me. And I spent I did almost a bid on my back, which is a long time when you're right at 30. Yeah. And so to have people believe in me has changed completely everything that I thought life was going to turn into.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you make them?
So they're, Landon is my best friend at Mabel Bassett, and that's his parents, and he has 2 consecutive life sentences.
You said his
transgender.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
it
like,
gets complicated in the network there.
Well, that's all you had to say because I was thinking, wait a minute, you was friends with an officer?
That's what
I had. Right, that's what you was thinking, right? So that's why I had to clarify. Wait a second. Okay. Right. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So his parents literally just took me in, and have included me, like, we eat together every night, which is a big deal because I didn't have that when I was little.
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference. Like, it makes you want to be home on time, which is crazy because I've had to be in my room at a certain time for the last 9 years, so you would think I wouldn't want a curfew, but, like, it's just really, really liberating to have people care about you, really.
Right. That's amazing. And what's their names?
Candy and Philip.
Candy, Philip, shout out to you. That is definitely amazing of you. There's so many people that get out of prison that have the same story as her, but didn't have anybody that had their back. And then they ended up back on drugs. They're right now in the jails right now. We see their pictures on Just Busted every now and then because they didn't have that person that stepped up and was like, listen, I know it's fucked up, but we here for you. I know that what you went through is tough, but here we are. There are people out here that give a fuck. And I'm so glad that you have them.
Me freaking too, man.
I'm so glad. Like, that no, you good. This is the therapy you never knew you needed.
Yeah, they're
You
just
know.
really good people.
Yes, that's dope. You know, y'all, my hats off to y'all. Seriously. Now, you know, do you have a job yet? Like, what?
I just got a job yesterday.
Hey!
I just got a job
Congratulations.
yesterday. Yeah, so I'll be working at Sprouts. They'll have me like in-store shopping or whatever, so I won't have to deal with people.
Which one you work at?
In Yukon.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's like, damn, fuck.
Right.
I need an employee discount.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin.
They shit expensive.
Yeah, wow.
I like
Wow, that's a huge deal. You
Yeah,
know,
and so
especially Sprout.
it's a huge deal because like I have not had fruits or vegetables that were fresh
Right.
in
Say that
9
again.
years.
I love it.
Like I'm so ready. Okay, so funny story. I walk in, Candy and Philip and I have enjoyed a nice little peaceful 20-minute drive back to the house when I first get out, and there's like sliced up carrots and celery and cucumber and like there's fresh broccoli florets in the fridge, and I was like, I'm gonna eat that. And Candy was like, yep, go ahead and have some.
Right.
I have never eaten so much fruit and so many vegetables in my life. Like as a kid, couldn't get me to do it, and now I'm like, please, I just need all of the fruits.
Right.
I need all of the vegetables because you really are deprived of nutrients.
Yeah.
I've gained 11 pounds in the 16 days I've been out because I'm eating things that are nurturing my body instead of ramen. And okay, so like when I went to the store earlier, we have like snack cakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like these are the things that you can get at Maple Best.
Yeah.
These are the things that you can eat.
That's it.
And that's it. And so, you know, being diabetic, like I can't eat those.
Right.
And so you're stuck with more bad
Now,
stuff.
I'm glad you said that because
My childhood snacks.
I'll make it a point to speak about the diets in prison because a lot of us, and I did a survey, a lot of us have gotten out and we found out that we have fibroids and cysts.
And I have thyroid cancer. I found that out about 1.5 years ago. Just, you know what I mean? I'm glad that it's somewhere that it's central. They could take it out. It's real quick. It's real easy. And then they kept trying to send me out to the DOC doctors. And I was like,
Right.
No, I'm going to go
Now, tell them why you said
Because I'm going to go to get my thyroid taken out. I'm going to wake up and they're going to be like, oh, we took out your kidney. And I'm going to be like, why?
Right.
Why do I still have my thyroid, but I'm missing something I'm not supposed to be? And it's so real. Like, I have been fighting this for the last 1.5 years. I let them do like 1 round of chemo pills. They gave me no relief, no help, nothing. Like, because when you're on chemo, like your sweat just turns to acid. You know what I mean? You're so uncomfortable. And then you're on this metal rack. And you don't get special treatment, which I'm not asking for it. You know what I mean? But like, a little comfort would be nice. A fuzzy blanket, maybe some comfy socks, like a diet that I could eat and not immediately just
Throw
get
up.
sick. And so like it was really hard. Like your
Ooh,
hair
that would make
hurts,
me
your
cry.
nails hurt,
So-
your skin hurts. And if it weren't for the people, like shout out to Colleen Barnes, man.
Colleen Barnes, you know
That's my
Colleen.
prison mama.
Okay.
I love Colleen Barnes. You took care of me the whole time I was sick,
Period.
man. And like my whole first round of chemo, like they went to the kitchen and got food for me to come back and to like cook for me what I could eat because I was so sick.
Right.
And my dad was fighting cancer at the time. My first round of chemo, my dad was also going through chemo. And so we would call and just laugh because it is not funny.
Right.
Life is
Right.
not funny.
No, for real. No, I know what you mean. No.
And so, like,
I know exactly what
and
you
like
mean.
my
girl.
dad
You
would
got
be
me crying.
puking, I'd be puking, and we'd be like, oh, I gotta go, man. And then we'd call back, you know, a few minutes later I'd call my pops back and we would just talk and just laugh because like, you know, whether you're out in the free world or you're in prison, cancer doesn't discriminate, and neither should we.
Yeah.
And that was the point my dad was always making, is like, you're literally going through exactly what I'm going through. I work a full-time job, I have good insurance, I own my house, I own my car, I raised your sister, and you know what I mean? So it's just like, whether you have a felony or not, you're still gonna have what life gives you.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's a really important point to push, is like, why is anybody any better than anybody when you could wake up tomorrow morning, go to the doctor, and find out some things that you could never ever unfind out.
Right. That's so true. Now, I do want to go back to you know, your diet whenever you were going through that, you know, and you said that the prison, was it the fact that the prison didn't do anything to accommodate
nothing.
you? Or
like, no, I couldn't even get a liquid diet. And I'm like, I can't keep anything down. And I have a whole bunch of food allergies. So, like, I'm allergic to weird stuff, like peppers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, well, you can either eat this or you cannot eat.
So, girl, I experienced that. I'm allergic to tomatoes, and you know everything they serve is
Everything
tomatoes.
has tomatoes in it. What are you supposed to eat? Like raw
I said,
pasta?
so that's what they gave me. They was like, you're going to either eat this pasta with some salt on it. I said, well, then give me the salt. Well, you can't get the salt. So then I'm going to just eat the pasta.
But if you take it out, it's a misconduct.
Yeah.
If you take your food out of the kitchen, it's a class A. And so you can't.
To try to season it, make it
put
good.
sauce on it. It's not happening. Don't take it back with you because, oh my God, you might just be hungry or you might be a felon. Who knows?
Yeah. No, seriously.
Boy. Shoot. I'm sick of it.
Now, how long did it take for them to actually get you into medical to start getting your treatment after you found out? Like, no, first, how long did it take before you found out?
Okay, so I had to go to Eddie Warrior. Like, I signed a misconduct pack and went to Eddie's for 8 months and was working 2 jobs, and I passed out working overnight laundry. Because every time I ate, I would get, like, hot back here, and I'd be like, something's going on, you know what I mean? And I blamed it on, like, maybe I'm just getting off the drugs or whatever. Like, let's just keep it real. Like, maybe my body just doesn't know how to function.
Did you ever think menopause?
Not one time.
Okay.
Not one time. I prayed, though. Please, no. But, no, I just really, like, was, like, what is going on? Something's not right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I pass out, and they take me to the hospital, and my blood sugar is, like, almost 400. It's like 386. My A1C was 17. I should have been dead.
Yeah.
And so they kept me for 2 weeks. They got everything regulated. My A1C's down. It's like a little over 7 now, which is healthy range. But it took self-discipline because they don't offer you help. They don't offer you guidance. They don't offer you anything in medical other than...
Even at Eddie
Did
Warriors?
you fill out a sick call? God bless you, Miss Bricker. God bless you, Miss Bricker.
That annoys me.
God. Me too, because you go in there and it was just like I weighed... At one point, I weighed like 87 pounds. I couldn't keep anything down. And they were like, "Oh, you're probably on drugs." No, I'm completely sober. I'm sick. You know what I mean? I'm completely sober and I'm sick. And so, you know, you go up to medical and they're like, "Oh, you know, come in if you need anything." Well, I need something, and I come in and they're like, "Didn't you fill out a sick call?"
Right. It's like, didn't you tell me to come in? I thought you were saying it like on the cool because you felt for me.
And then,
the fuck?
And then, I don't know if anybody knows about the word chronic, but chronic meaning excessive, continuous, and egregious. Okay, so chronic care is supposed to be free. When I got diagnosed with cancer,
that's chronic care.
I constituted it as something chronic in my life, something egregious in my life that was happening to me. I got charged $4 per doctor's visit. I got charged $4 per box of all of my chemo pills. I got charged $4 every time I needed a medical slip for a liquid diet so I could get dry chicken broth in a cup that I could take back and take and make something with.
From your ramen noodles.
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
That's it.
They not actually supposed to do, and this is the thing, is they're getting away with this type of stuff. And if we don't have people like her and young men that's getting out that experience it, if y'all get out and don't speak on it, then guess what? They gonna think it's okay.
If you don't,
they're gonna keep doing it to the next one.
If you don't talk about it, no one knows.
Yes.
To the point that, shout out to Chris Steele, by the way. When I was sick, Chris was coming in for the Hero program, and I was the first and only squire, because I insisted upon being a squire, for the apprentice program, and I got to wash out the paintbrushes after class because I really needed something to do to clear my head. And he came in and was like, "What's going on with you?" I talked to him. He went to the warden, and he went and advocated for me. And he looked Tamika White in her face, and he said, "She is not all right where she's at. She needs to be moved, and she needs help." And she said, "Well, of course, you know, we'll look into it. We'll look into it."
That's what they always say.
Then embezzled like $1 gazillion and left.
Yeah.
So deuces, I hope you're doing well wherever you're at as well.
She probably still living off that money.
Please take a cruise, because Lord knows nobody who's gotten out of DOC has had a cruise yet. It's too cold.
Yeah. Are you ready for it?
I'm so excited. I want to go this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you did when you got out?
So I started a bunch of awkward conversation with Candy and Philip on the way home. Because, I'm just a nervous wreck. I played with Avery, which is Landon's service dog for his emotional support. Avery J is the light of my life. Like, you can talk to her like a person. Like, if you tell her, hey, get down off the bed, she's just going to look at you. But if you're like, could you please get down? Such a girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, I got in and immediately, like, just fell in love with this dog. And it was just like, I had somebody to go through this with.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just a different level because...
She's your comfort dog right
And now the dog program at Mabel Bassett, they're actually allowing the
now.
officers...
They got dogs now, not cats?
They've been having dogs.
They've had dogs. At least the 9 years I've been there, but they've just now switched it to where only the officers...
They did it the day I left.
Yeah, only the officers can pet the dogs. So you're teaching these dogs that you're training to discriminate against people that look like me. With face tattoos.
Wait a minute, in front of your face?
Yeah, they're like, you're not allowed to pet the dogs anymore.
Oh, what?
You're not allowed to pet the dogs. Yes, inmates are not allowed to pet the dogs anymore. So, like, for the first 6 years that I was there, I could have puppy therapy every Friday. And I mean, Shiloh, wherever you're at, hey man, you had it on the puppy Fridays, man, because like it got me through mental health wise.
Wow.
But yeah, so like this last couple of years, it's a liability. But the staff comes in and they're teaching them to favor the laws, which is fine. You know, I agree, abide the laws, that's cool, whatever. What I don't agree with is, if I have committed a crime 9 years ago and I'm serving my sentence and I'm working on my mental health to better myself so I don't commit another crime, the last thing that you should do is have a dog growling at me because I'm friendly.
Right.
Don't do that.
Seriously.
So I got
It's
me some puppy
triggering.
therapy as soon as I got out. Boom.
Yeah. I know that's right.
That's my best friend.
Yes. That's what's
Because Katie sure didn't do her job, remember?
No, she didn't.
Katie.
May Katie rest in peace.
May she do.
May Katie rest in peace.
Wow.
That was
And
our
you know
puppy
what?
man.
Before we go on, I do want to go ahead and stop everything and give a moment of silence, because there were some girls and some gentlemen that was locked up, that was in county jail and didn't make it out. They died. That was in prison that didn't make it out. They died. And there's people that die every day from all type of reasons: fentanyl, cancer, car wrecks. So let's give this moment and give a moment of silence. And anybody that you could think of that you know, or maybe that you've seen in the news that you can remember, just say their name in your head.
What the? I'm sorry.
Man. And the best part is that Sarah Davidson, Amanda Lane, Lady Menace, you all know that she would be laughing in that moment of silence.
Yeah, they would have. They would have been cracking up.
Angie Stone, who was it?
It's all right.
Man.
That was straight up them
Not
right
the
there.
fat, juicy, and wet. Okay, Bruno.
Hey, resting fat, juicy, and wet. Rest in peace. Yeah.
You know what? There have been a lot of people that like we have lost. You know.
And you were there for some of the deaths.
Oh yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Most of them. This last 5 years or so has really been really rugged and like.
Oh, you was there for Amanda Lane, wasn't you?
I love Amanda Lane.
Yeah.
May she rest in peace. I actually did some shoe time when I came back from Eddie's in the room that she had died in, because nobody wanted to live in there, and I was like, man, I have peace in my spirit. I'm going. And so I'd be reading, and they put, if anybody knows Kinsey, tell her. Because like that's my friend, you know what I mean? We talk all the time, and so they usually room us up together, and she doesn't know any of those things.
Right.
And so like I was trying to tell her, and then we both see out of the corner of our eye there's someone standing there, and we look up, nobody's there, and she's like, oh, Amanda, because you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah. I get it, man. And like she touches my heart in a special way, because like let's just talk about it. Y'all didn't respect her when she was here, but don't say rest in peace when she's gone.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna be the guy that says it, like, y'all didn't do her right.
Right.
And so, you know what I mean? Like, that was my friend. Like, we ate lunch. Y'all didn't eat lunch. We ate lunch.
Right.
And so, she be okay, you know what I mean? Maybe she
I thought
okay,
she was talking to
whatever
Blue's
she said.
Clues.
Kinsey sounds like Blue's Clues. Okay, so
that's what I was thinking was happening. I was like, wait a second.
Okay, so she's deaf, and like when the officer,
right, I got that after you started doing sign language.
I know.
But when you first,
when the cops come, they come and get somebody who knows how to sign.
Yeah.
Because they can't talk to her.
Yeah.
And it's just like sad. Like, I have to say, some of the worst officers, no offense, Snodgrass, learned how to talk to Kinsey. Like, it's always the ones that you don't think it's going to be that are just like... it's always the ones that you don't think it's going to be that, like, actually sit and learn us and how to handle us and how to deal with us.
Right.
Because I'm not going to say I was easy to deal with. I got locked up when I was 20. I had a baby I'd never met. I was angry all the time. I was strung out on drugs. Let's just talk about it. Because it's the truth.
Right.
And there
but
were...
you only... Well, I'm not going to put that in on you. Why did you get strung out on drugs?
I lost everything I'd ever worked for my whole life. And I knew that even though Mabel Bassett wasn't forever for me, it was for people that I had grown close to. That's my family.
Right.
You live every waking second together, and a relationship at Mabel Bassett, whether it's a mom or a sister or a girlfriend, you're locked in together 24/7.
Yeah.
You're not doing 6 months at 6 months. You're doing 6 months in dog years.
Right.
You're doing 6 months in Mabel Bassett years. You're doing 6 months day for day together.
Yes.
So when you are with a person 24/7, I'm talking about slide the key, pop out in the middle of the night. Hey, I've had a bad dream.
I'm married,
rise and shine, it's dyking time.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Country and I had Bull Dyker of the Year award. During the COVID, we made a big paper heart, and we held it up to the fence because we couldn't even get to each other, you know what I mean?
Oh,
you are doing a decade on every year that you were there with somebody, doing it with somebody. So my 9 years, I've done 90 years with my mom. I've done 90 years with my friends because you're there 24/7. You don't go to work and get away. I have to come bother you at property to get a T-shirt.
Yeah.
I got to come up here and see you at work because you work in the kitchen and I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I'm going to church. You know what that means? You better be bringing your ass to church with me.
Yep, exactly. I don't care what you praising.
So you dated someone in the kitchen?
Listen, during the COVID, you got a job in the kitchen to see your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You got if you lived on different units.
I got a coworker that married an inmate, but she had to wait until he was like.
And you know what? If you ain't married a kitchen worker, you should marry a kitchen worker because they get the real food.
Yeah, no, for real. That's the thing. That was one of the good things about working in the kitchen is you knew that the inmates was getting the fake shit and the kitchen workers was getting the real shit. Like, that's why people was like, yo, I need me a kitchen worker friend.
Do you have a kitchen worker?
So you gotta have
and a laundry worker.
Well, you gotta have a maintenance worker too.
Maintenance worker too.
Okay.
Because if my sink gets
you gotta have fuck the sink. What if you pop your socket and your whole shit need to be? You can't just.
My gosh! Speaking of crazy occurrences at Mabel Bassett, 2 months before I got out, probably a month before I got out, really. Somebody was using a Sparky in the wall, which is you take your little charger.
Yes, that's my favorite.
Okay, so they blew the whole freaking side of the wall out, like all into the light, everything.
That's why I needed
they were trying to heat up some water.
No,
they were trying to light a cigarette.
I was trying to light a cigarette, but I used my room because they wouldn't smoke the cigarette in my room. I'd be like, hey, you gotta pay me. I don't give a fuck if I bust this bitch out or not. I got a maintenance friend that will come and fix it every time because I bust my shit out every day.
So I started teaching like music lessons on the yard because I believe in a service for a service.
Right.
And so a couple of my friends that were maintenance workers or kitchen workers or whatever, they'd come to me and they'd be like, I want to learn to play the guitar, or like I would tutor.
Oh, you was eating good.
Oh,
hell
baby.
Yeah.
I would tutor, like I tutored math for a little bit. I would help people with their homework and stuff, and like it really is an exchange. It's very
bartering.
It's very old
really,
world. It's very old world. Like if you bring me a chicken, I know I'm going to have eggs. If I bring you a goat, you know you're going to have milk. So it's just like, you trade straight across. Like, if I can teach you something that you need to know, and you can bring me something that I need to eat, because let's just be real, skinny girls eat big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up, like I'm big hungry all the time. Yeah, I'm big hungry all the time. But
I
you
have
know,
a fatitude, but I'm not skinny.
But you gotta have that kitchen worker, because I mean, if you just put a little bit of something, and then you gotta have you a laundry worker, because baby, a payload is a payload, because they lose your
And
stuff,
then what if your girlfriend go to lock and you need to send a message?
Yeah,
it's only getting through laundry, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
gotta have a laundry. You gotta have somebody that works everywhere. Matter of fact, you gotta have somebody, and you gotta even have somebody that work up there with the motherfucking warden. You gotta have somebody everywhere.
Because who else is gonna tell you what really is going on?
Exactly. You even gotta have somebody that work Kairos. Because what if you get kicked out and you still need them cookies? Let's talk about it.
My first weekend in prison, they brought us Kairos cookies. So I'm like sitting in A&R. I pulled Friday morning, so they bring us cookies Saturday and they bring us cookies Sunday. Yeah. I was lied to about how prison was gonna go.
Oh yeah.
They did not bring me cookies. And then the next time they brought cookies, I got my ear bit off by this girl there.
Oh, wait a second.
Yeah. So okay. So like,
he said, right?
Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
The mole.
Yeah.
What?
Wait a
That
second.
thought she was Mike Tyson.
Let's go back to the.
The same mole that.
Is it okay?
Is she okay? Wait.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Okay. So they took me to the hospital
After church.
Shout out to Cooksey, because you held my ear back together while it was glued, man.
I see it.
Okay, so like, okay, you can see the scar in the back of
She
it.
mad?
And then like, I'll forever have her teeth prints right there. So I.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Was she
Okay,
mad at
so
you?
Let me see.
Wait a second. So yeah, no, it's there. So
I'm
she
not
just
sure
was
how
like,
it happened.
What the fuck?
Okay,
Just
so
She learned that from Mike Tyson. I'm trying to tell you.
Nah, she was
So,
hungry, honey.
she
want a meal.
came down on a Saturday morning,
Hannibal.
picking shit at 8 o'clock in the morning,
okay, so she was on meth.
and
Oh, okay. That makes
we
sense.
all were on meth.
Okay.
But
You bitches
she
up.
she comes down there. I'm not ready to get up or whatever. She leaves out. She comes back. We're bickering.
No,
I
wait,
leave.
pause.
out.
Were you guys sleeping together?
No.
This
God,
is just
no.
this was just your friend.
This was my friend. This is the crazy people of Maple Bassett. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Let's get back to it.
so she is walking out talking shit, and you know you don't do that. That's not what you do. Talk shit to my face. And so she's walking out talking shit, and I come up behind her. I'm like, "Hey, bitch!" And I go and I hit her, and she looks at me, grabs me by both sides of my face like she's gonna kiss me, and I'm like, "Oh, she's a fucking patient." And then boom, just
Jesus.
it was just.
And let you go?
I mean, and she just.
She had some.
The officer was in the bubble of D building, so it's like 6 pods arranged this way around a bubble that can see everything. He was watching out the door, and when she removed herself, because she is a domestic terrorist at Maple Bassett, when she removed herself from the unit so no one had to deal with her, he comes out all timidly and is like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, "I'm going to medical. You ain't shit." I had to go to the hospital, and if I walked back in and I grabbed my Kairos cookies on the way back to the building, and I was like, if I'd have missed these cookies,
I would have beat
you.
your
Can't
listen,
cookies twice
listen. Let me tell y'all
She's
something.
been watching too many scary movies.
There's people that go high and low to get their cookies. People will buy your cookies off you. People bought my cookies off me all the time.
$50 for a bag of cookies.
No, for real.
Boy, because we don't get homemade stuff.
Yeah.
We don't get chocolate chip cookies that aren't.
Man, I sold my oatmeal one and my peanut butter one every month.
I would find people that had like peanut allergies, and I would make sure and trade them for stuff they could eat.
Yeah.
Because like I couldn't imagine not being able to have the one good thing that
Right.
we live for.
Right.
And then so I put in for Kairos 9 years in a row, and I never did get in.
Oh yeah, I got kicked out. Matter of fact, they told me I would never, ever, ever step foot in their church. They said I wouldn't even be able to get cookies from them. Oh yeah, because I said I came in one day. Let me tell y'all something. And I was an earth disturber on the yard.
Earth disturber.
Yes, y'all remember the song? Oh my
They still to this day sing that song. They sang it on my way out the slider.
Oh my God! My song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to all my earth disturbers.
Look, I need to hear about these damn cookies. Were they baked cookies?
So
Like, what?
yes, they do. They make them.
Yeah.
So listen.
These
So
little ladies,
I
they
had
always
came
do
out of
this.
lock and I was like, you know what? I said let me see if I can get in. I feel godly. I'm gonna see if they'll accept me.
Don't do that, Maple Bassett.
As soon as I walked in, he was like, "Oh no, you need to get out. First of all, you just got out of lock." I was like, "What?" He was like, yeah.
He said it just like that.
Yes,
Log.
yes. He said, first of all, you just got out of lock, and we prayed over these buckets. I said, you ain't prayed over the motherfucking buckets. First of all, you put the white people right there, the native people right there, in the
middle.
I don't know who the fuck is on this left side, but guess what?
There's no Asians on the yard, so it can't be them.
You feel me? So I said, but I know exactly who you putting right here because it's the only one that y'all pick from. I said, I've been watching y'all since I've been fucking here. They was like, oh yeah, get the water.
But that's big facts. Like, my problem
she gotta go.
My problem is I fit a demographic I don't want to be in. What does a felon look like?
Listen, and you know which one
I'm not gonna get
They
pulled
put
over.
you. They put you in
But
the
I'm a
bucket
felon.
that you like black people, bro. I'm telling you, it's a whole bucket for that.
I get along with everybody.
Right,
because
and they don't like that. They
I
like
don't
certain
get
people.
why you don't.
They like certain people. That's why you
They
see
didn't
certain
like
people
me.
on they.
They didn't like me because I fit a demographic that I should have flirted with the officers and I should have taken the compliments and I should have gone and swoop. Like, oh, you have college degrees. Please come teach at education. I would rather fuck myself with a cactus.
Yeah.
I'm not going to work
seriously.
for y'all. I'm not going to hold no DOC job.
Yeah.
Hell.
A cactus is
No.
wild.
Y'all took my house.
See me and that shit.
Y'all took my kids. Y'all took my freedom.
No, for real.
Y'all took my clothes and my shoes.
Yeah.
Y'all took my shoes.
Yeah.
Y'all took my good food. Y'all took my self-respect.
Yeah.
There for a while, y'all took my ability to accept love.
Mm-hmm.
There for a while, y'all took my ability to know consistency because y'all are inconsistent.
Yes, very inconsistent.
Y'all took...
They consistent about that though. Wait.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
To be inconsistent.
Y'all
They consistent about that.
took me and put me in a jar on a shelf until I got out. Well, the unfortunate thing for you is I know who I am, so the second that little microchip was put right back where it's supposed to be, it still fucked DOC.
Yeah.
Because y'all tried so hard to break me, and you can't. And that's the problem is if you can't be broken, if you can't be beaten into submission, if you can't put your head down when you walk by, if you have a conscious self-image, if you know who you are at the end of the day, if your morals and your scruples don't waver, then it's a problem. And I had to grow into that. I'm not going to say I started that way. Mm-hmm. Schizo knows. Mm-hmm. A2 Brute! We put this laxative in this girl's drink because she was being real shitty, and I was on some mean girl shit, and it was not the right thing to do because, like, we're in it together, you know what I mean? Oh, but, like...
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.
I was an earth disturber. And
disturber.
There it is. But you know, like if you can't be winked at and like go and stand and flirt with an officer for a whole 10 minutes, if you can't go out of your way to do something for somebody because you don't believe in it, if you can't just like be swayed with the breeze, then you're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
I encourage you to have a hard time.
Yeah.
Period.
Let me ask you this, because I say this all the time on the couch when it comes to prison jail felon talk. But do you feel like you had to put on a face and be somebody else that you really wasn't?
Yeah, I had to be the crazy person, like to the point that like the officers with the new warden would be like, "Okay, Holly, I'm gonna walk you back to your unit because I told the warden that you're a patient and that's why you're out here acting like this." And I'm like, no, I'm acting like this because y'all ain't feeding me right and y'all ain't taking care of me. I ain't acting like any real type of way. Like, I have been disrespected. I have been mistreated. I have been abused. I have been beaten down for all these years. And when I finally got a hold of the idea of leaving, I just grabbed it with two hands and I was like, I'm not going to have to deal with this much longer. It got ridiculous. I'm talking about I couldn't get a new T-shirt. Fuck me if I wanted to buy an extra bar of soap here and there at the canteen. Mm-hmm. Dump all the favor that I.
That's why people don't tell anyone when they about to get out, because either somebody gonna trick you off or they gonna treat you so fucked up that you gonna want to trick yourself off.
There's a lot of people, if I didn't tell you goodbye, I'm sorry, I love you, goodbye, it's because you would have tricked my shit off.
Yeah.
Straight up, like,
yeah.
if you see, gotcha!
Surprise, surprise! Surprise, surprise!
Yeah, because you're not surrounded by the best people. You will meet some great people.
Yes.
You will meet people that will change your life. Some of them like a sharpening stone.
Fuck yeah.
Because they are just...
Yeah.
all the time.
They gonna sharpen you, but they gonna be so sharp that it's gonna piss you off that they still
it's just
cutting
like, you cannot have shit and tell people about it. I had this girlfriend one time that told me, if you want something, you keep it to yourself. Because that's how you protect it. And I didn't take her advice. So her other girlfriend and I fought all the time. And that's just the reality of the situation. I was fighting on the yard constantly. I was in trouble constantly. I was doing some dumb shit constantly until about the last year. And then everyone wanted to say, oh, it's the relationship that you're in. No, it's because I have changed. And I've realized that, like, as a felon and a woman, I'm guilty of looking at people and being like, oh, it's because of an outside influence. It couldn't possibly be because of them. And so once you have gotten to a point where you have acted this way and you have incurred a record of any variety, as a woman with a felony conviction that is a mother and that has goals and that has a life ahead of me, the second that I stopped allowing other people to validate me through them or through something else or say, oh, well, it couldn't be you. And I knew in my soul, like the deepest parts of my soul, undeniably, irrevocably, that it was me. It was me that wrote my story. It was me that decided which direction I was going to walk. And if I'm walking this way and I don't like where I'm going, I just have to put my feet somewhere else and walk that way. And the second I realized that, I found my power. Yeah.
I'm always talking about the power.
I found my power. And I quit acting like that because, like, ew, for real. No.
And it's wild that whenever you look at how you started off in your sentence, it really isn't ill because it's the fact that your environment made you act like that.
Oh
You've
my
seen
gosh, dude,
that the only way that the staff will actually pay you attention or take you serious is if you start acting like a patient.
A patient or a hoe.
I mean, seriously.
That's your two options.
That's your two options.
So I picked being a patient.
And if you not, seriously, me too.
I picked being a patient.
Hey, you said you gonna put me where? I'm not tripping. They call
I
me
had
Earth
a
Disturber.
room reserved
I started
in the
Earth
shoe.
Disturber for a reason. Because guess what? I'm not gonna just bow down, bitch.
Yeah.
And if I lose every fucking body, guess what? You still gonna feel me.
If I lose everybody, you're still going to have to watch me wake up way happier than you.
Yes, exactly.
And it was like, oh my gosh. Like, the unit staff, everything runs through the unit staff now. So the captains can't make security moves. I watched this girl get beat with a lock in the head like probably 45 times. And she walked to the slider with all her stuff to walk herself out, and the cop would not even come down from the bubble because he didn't want to deal with it. They don't get paid enough to deal with it. They're not properly trained to deal with it. They're not emotionally strong enough to deal with it. Let's just be real.
Now,
it's
pause.
awful.
What? And I want to get into that because I want you to dig into that. What makes you say that? That they're not mentally.
They're not mentally and emotionally strong enough because they're in there screaming at nice ladies who are going through a hard time and labeling them bad ladies. They're telling us that they're in charge and they're big and we're small and they're smart and we're dumb. And nobody that is emotionally mature or mentally ready to deal with life does things like that.
Right.
So, a couple of years ago, I got held hostage for 2 hours and 38 minutes in a room by 4 people. And I got my face cut up behind a roomer.
And, pause.
The rumors.
Pause. I want to tell y'all something. Because I literally discharged and the rumor is still the same rumor about me. Okay?
That you had to do.
Yeah. No, yeah. No, for real. And this girl told me, she said, oh, I've been on the yard longer than you. They gonna believe everything I say. I said, girl, they not gonna believe you.
And they do.
And you know what she said? Janelle got a dick. And you know what everybody said? And to this day, they still think Janelle got a dick. Because rumors, baby, it don't matter if it's not true, if they believe it.
Yeah.
If they feel, listen.
Wise word on the street.
Yeah. Well, and then,
so let's get into
okay, so like they did a very poor job. So my face was all cut up. All of this was just black and blue. Like I was unrecognizable. They put me in jail because I refused to tell on the people that did it.
Right.
Because I wanted to fight about it, straight up.
I need to come back.
Because I want to bang one-on-one. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get my friends, and you're going to go and get your friends, but my friends are going to make sure that I fight you and all your friends one-on-one. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, it was just like they put me in jail because I like, all of this was just black and frickin' blue, man. And they carved snitch in my forehead.
Pause. Why?
Because someone, and we all know who the someone is, started a rumor and paid $150 in dough, which ain't even worth $100 cash, to these girls so that she could deflect off the fact that, come to find out, she was the one that told. And then she just caught all these people several life sentences consecutively on a case of
snitch, bitch.
A handful of years ago.
I think I know who you're talking.
Snitching ass.
Yep.
After the podcast.
So, yeah. Shout out to you, though, because I have grown so much and y'all can't hinder that.
Right.
And y'all need to cut deeper.
Ooh. Your face looks amazing. I couldn't even tell.
Thank you. I do have scars that I inflicted. Those ones are pretty serious.
Yeah.
But what you did wasn't shit, bitch.
But hey, and it
you
took,
got a bigger scar with the eating
ear. Boy, it took four people.
We're gonna call her ass Mike Tyson.
It took 4 people to hold me down because I had heart and because I was an earth disturber.
Give me some.
I mean, and when you get out, you realize it. If it took 4 of you to hold me down, and then, you know, I'm an undercover thug. So I just flipped my sweatshirt inside out. There was blood everywhere. And I flipped my sweatshirt inside out, and I went and picked up my Game of Thrones book so that my face was not seen during count, and I sucked my hat down over my head and hid from the cops for 3 days. Because y'all are not going to mandate how I live my life.
Yeah.
Y'all are not going to validate your behavior on my responses. And, you know, I used to have bad dreams about it and whatever until one day I was just looking at one of these girls and I was like, look, if I worked in Walmart and you were coming in to ask where something was, you would have to ask a less attractive employee because you're not on my level. So I'm not worried about you.
Period.
I'm not worried about you.
Period.
Okay.
And shout out to everybody that's tuned in. First of all, if you just now tuning in, it's the Couch Chronicles where it ain't no fucking limits. I got Holly on the motherfucking couch. Holly been out of prison for 2 weeks now. Y'all, let's give her a round of applause for that. Okay, welcome home. Y'all, it's Prison Jail Felon Talk today and tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day. Until next month, y'all know I do it every month. So make sure that you follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Couch Chronicles No Limits on Instagram, and THA Couch on Facebook, fan base, tag, like, big O, fan base, shit. Download all them motherfuckers.
If you have it, she's got it too.
OnlyFans, I'm fucking.
They denied me and they blocked me. I can't even get on there with a fake email.
Do you know why? They don't have room. They can't download all of that fabulousness.
Period.
Over with.
I figured it was something like that.
I was gonna get me one, like 1 chick, 2 chick, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Make sure that you follow Couch Chronicles No Limits on everywhere that you can. THA Couch on .com as well, and THA Real JANELL. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, or Pandora, and you would like to see the visual, THA Real JANELL on YouTube. Hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the like button. You watching on YouTube? Hit that like button. Play with that button like it's yourself. Okay. Yeah. Make sure you follow Holly on all social media. It's all about love, support, good vibes, and positive energy, and that's all we trying to spread. Now, we have a few more minutes, so before we leave, I do want to ask a few more questions. Like, one, what was the worst thing that you've experienced or seen on the yard while you were there?
So there was a terrible officer that got put in a trash can because he was small.
I was going to say Rosencrantz.
No,
You
it was
said
not
small,
Rosencrantz.
though.
It was not Rosencrantz. I know you were hopeful, but no,
Yeah,
I hate to disappoint.
I was.
No, he just and it was just a real vicious act that we forget that we're all people.
Wait a minute, they put him in there like a little...
They picked him up and put him upside down in the trash can. And so, it was at the time, I was just super mortified that we're fighting, and my issue is that we're fighting so hard to be we're not bad. Listen to what we have to say. Treat us like people. And then we're bullying somebody because we're bigger than them. I understand that he comes to work every day and is a dick, but if he doesn't keep his job, he has to move out of his mom's basement. So you know what I mean? But joke about it, laugh about it. Don't be like that. You know what I mean? Okay. Don't put him in the trash can. He comes to work every day being like that because his life is hard enough already. We don't have to.
So his legs was just like this?
Just up in the air.
Gingerbread man.
It was just so. Was he a midget? No, he's just a little scrawny guy.
She's talking about, was he a midget?
He's about my build and about a half inch taller, and they tried putting him on working on fixing.
They was probably like, fuck the police,
and trying to fix. I mean, he can't even drive perimeter. I don't even think
he was your height.
He's just he's just a little guy.
Oh man.
Yeah,
but you know
what?
My size. I was so disappointed in all of us. Because we laughed and we were like, yeah, fuck the police. And I'm like, that's not going to be how we create change.
Right, it's not.
You just set us back 5 years.
Yeah.
We got the yard band out here. We got the regional director out here. We got Lance West documenting what we're doing. We got the HERO program. We got all these things going for us. We got people that believe in us. We have lawmakers' wives popping up at random because of the new J.J. Humphreys had passed that new law where they don't have to call ahead.
Yeah.
They can come in and when you see a nice white lady with long blonde hair and her little brunette friend in equally nice dress walking across the yard and you're like, I wonder if those are the new teachers, and then they pull out the clipboard.
Oh yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. And I'm like, you're married to somebody important. Yeah. Let me go tell on DOCDU.
Yeah, no, for real.
They put me in shoe for that all the time.
No, you know what? Earth disturber as soon as we see somebody that don't look like that. Did you know that the warden actually has been letting us live in there with mold? And did you know we haven't been eating and we've been on lockdown for 58 hours? Actually, the only reason why we are taking off is because
why were they taking notes?
Well, they're taking notes because they're trying to change things.
Yeah.
They go home and they nag their husbands until their husbands pass a law.
Yeah.
Women, find your power somewhere.
Yeah. Facts. Even if it's in that pussy.
My last week at Mabel Bassett, I was sleeping on my mat on the floor of Landon's room because my bunkie and I weren't getting along and they didn't want to deal with it. So they legit were take your mat upstairs and just go in there and you could just sleep on the floor in there. So for the last week that I was at Mabel Bassett, I was essentially completely a homeless person.
No, seriously.
It cracks me up, but it's super sad because
I was such an earth disturber that they was just like, you know what? We're going to go ahead and give you these days. It's not time yet, but we're going to go ahead and I discharged early. I actually discharged. I wasn't supposed to discharge until March. I discharged February 12th.
I discharged 2 days late because my discharge date was a Sunday. I was an 85%er, so I had to wait till Monday. And Monday was President's Day. And I said, unless there's dead presidents going in my pocket, I don't care.
No, for real.
What do you mean?
For real.
They're alive.
And they sent me a $342 check in the mail with no birth certificate.
He was fine.
Because I'm from Australia, so I should have been born in America. Well, I didn't really have control over that.
Right.
Shout out to my mom and dad, though.
Facts.
You know what? Hi, Mom, wherever you are, I love you.
Period.
And Dad, always that.
Right.
But, you know what I mean? Y'all ain't offered me no help. Y'all ain't offered me no correction. I corrected myself because I'm better than that. Yeah. I corrected myself because I'm worthy and I deserve that. I corrected myself because I found that I love me pretty well.
Facts.
So thank you also, Mabel Bassett.
Yeah.
For giving me that.
Do you feel like the classes that they gave you or offered you?
What classes? I had to stand outside the chapel and wait until somebody dropped out of class so I could get a spot because I was an earth disturber.
Yeah. Then
I'd go in class and be respectful and end up teaching.
That's the reason why when you an earth disturber, they don't give you opportunities that school Even though you're supposed to be able to get school, if you're an earth disturber, guess what? School. Go back to yourself.
So I have earned one nickname in prison, and it's Grandma. Oh. So I have all these grandkids running around that I'm really proud of. Okay, so they're all like just kids in their early 20s that have no direction, have never just sat down and been loved, and never been anywhere they're safe, never really had somebody like believe in them. Right. And so we have fought tooth and nail to keep kids
Grandma,
in school.
Why couldn't you be auntie?
I mean,
Grandma.
I'm Irish, man. Grandma is a sign of respect. Like, think about how much you love your grandma, and you protect your grandma, and you just want to wash the dishes for your grandma. You know what I mean? Could never get him to do that, but I tried real hard. And it's just like, I fought for me, and I was teaching these kids to fight for themselves, because if you don't serve your part, no one gets corrected. The Department of Corrections doesn't correct people because of the staff or because of the programs or because of whatever they're funding. It comes from people who have been living there. Yeah. Shout out to all the lifers that raised me, straight up. Yeah. Because y'all did a pretty all right job.
Yeah, facts. Because trust me when I say a lifer, this is their home. Mm-hmm. They want to make sure that even though you are earth disturber, that you can do it a better way. Yeah. They give you a better option. We've been here for years is what they say. And then they'll tell you how they used to be an earth disturber. Yeah. You know, they school you, they teach you, they help you. The younger ones, they don't really give a fuck. They encouraging you to continue being an earth disturber and continue fucking shit up. The lifers, the old schools, no. Yeah. That's not the shit that they on.
I was raised by people that have been in prison longer than I've been alive. Mm-hmm. And that does something to you as a kid. It's kind of like with Candy and Philip, and it's probably why I'm so close with them, is because I recognize the want to make them proud, and I recognize the respect I have for them, and I recognize the feeling of, like, I guess it's the feeling of potential, because if you believe in me, I believe in me. All right. And you get that not because you've earned that, but because you deserve that. And so, you know, all the Lisa Adams of the world and the Talia Britts of the world who are like, why weren't you in church? Why didn't you go to school? Why are you being like this? And it makes you go, well, I don't know. Well, that's not a good enough answer. And you have to figure out why. Or like the Francine Steps that sit down and play the bass with you until you want to cry because you are able and willing and capable of learning. And because you're producing beautiful, amazing, creative content, and you were like, well, where could I go with this? Right. How much bigger? That's the question I started asking myself. How much bigger could what I love be? Yeah. How much bigger could this thing be? Right. Where could it go? How much bigger can it be?
Facts. That is so real.
Yeah.
Holly, I definitely appreciate you for getting on the couch.
I am so excited to be here, man.
Yes.
It's been a great time.
Yes. Is there anything you would like to leave the people with?
They have unicorn gummy bears now, and I think that's probably the best thing I've ever seen. So I'm going to cover these in cotton candy Pop Rocks, and I'm going to be eating those later.
Period.
Hit me up.
Period. Y'all, it's the Couch Chronicles where it ain't no fucking limits. And we will see you guys tomorrow for the last day of Prison Jail Felon Talk. If you would like to share your story, even if it's not this month, you got all this year. The fuck? And next year. And the year after that. It's the Couch Chronicles where it ain't no fucking limits. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Yeah. Period.
Well, we did it.
Period.
How long did it die? That's a wrap, y'all.
Cut.
My girl said cut.
Look right.
That was a good episode, though.
Yeah,
yes,
it was.
It was a good episode.
You did good, Holly.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, girl.
I think that was a lot that she had held in herself.
So just a couple years ago, the last time I saw you.